I stole $8 billion and got away with it. You want to know how I lost everything? How I went from being the face of the future to the headline of the biggest scandal in digital history? Good. Because I've been dying to tell this story. My story. No lawyers, no PR team. Just me and the truth. It started in a dorm room. MIT, 2016. I was 22, broke, caffeinated, and coding like my life depended on it. Because, well, it did. I wasn't trying to build a scam. I wasn't trying to rob anyone. I was trying to build something better. A new kind of financial system. No banks, no middlemen, no suits, just code and trust. Yeah, I know, trust. Ironic, right? By 2018, I launched LumaX, a crypto exchange so sleek, so fast, so decentralized. It felt like the future had just booted up in your browser. People loved it. Traders, gamers, tech bros, even your uncle who still writes checks. They were all in. Within a year, we hit 10 million users. By year 2, we were moving $50 billion a month. I became the crypto kid, Wired magazine cover. Forbes 30 under 30. The next Elon Musk, but with hoodies and less sleep. But here's the thing they don't tell you about being a genius billionaire. You start believing your own hype. You stop asking questions. And you stop listening to people who do. I built a second company, Nova Fund, a separate investment arm. But really, it was just me moving money from one pocket to the other. No one noticed. Or they didn't want to. Because while I was juggling billions in digital coins, the price of LumaX's token kept going up. Everyone was getting rich, so who cared if I bent a few rules? Eli's a genius. He's playing 4D chess. Trust the process. Except there was no process. There was only me, and my need to keep the illusion alive. They say the first time you lie, it eats at you. The second time, it gets easier. By the fifth, it becomes your business model. I didn't plan to build a house of cards, but when the wind starts blowing and everyone's watching, you either glue the damn cards together or watch it collapse. So I glued and I smiled. Where's the customer funds? Right there on the dashboard. Fully backed? Absolutely. Just don't click too deep. It started with a temporary transfer, a liquidity shuffle. $1 million here, $3 million there, all internal. Just until the next raise, I told myself. I wasn't stealing, I was rebalancing. Right? Then came the phone call. Eli, we can't cover the margin on the Bangkok fund. Need $12 million. By Friday. I nodded like I had it. Hung up and stared at the ceiling for 3 hours. That was the first night I didn't sleep. Investors started getting curious. One of them, older guy, ran a pension fund in Toronto, flew down for a tour. He shook my hand, smiled politely, and asked, "How exactly are you generating 22% APY with no drawdowns?" I laughed it off, gave him the usual. Our proprietary engine leverages cross-chain latency arbitrage across decentralized liquidity pools. Translation? Bullshit. But polished. He nodded slowly. Didn't say another word. 2 days later, he pulled out $50 million. Now that got my attention. When someone that quiet moves that fast, you're not in control anymore. That was the moment I stopped building and started plugging leaks. I told the dev team we were doing a security audit. In reality, I needed to redesign the dashboard so losses wouldn't show. We tweaked the front end, rounded the numbers, hard-coded the staked value at $1 no matter what. It wasn't fraud, it was perception management. But then the press caught a scent. "Hey Eli, CoinLedger here. Quick one. Is it true your balance sheet includes your own token at market value?" I froze. Well, technically yes, but it's a real asset, backed by the ecosystem. They didn't buy it. Nobody did. 2 days later, we trended on Twitter. Number Luma X Ponzi people were withdrawing like mad. We froze withdrawals, blamed network congestion, and released a statement about scheduled maintenance. I sat at my desk, staring at 12 monitors, each one showing a number plummeting. TVs were on. News anchors talking about us like we were already dead. And in that moment, I realized the game wasn't about building anymore. It was about survival. You know that scene in every heist movie? Where the alarms are going off, red lights are flashing, and the guy's still at the vault, stuffing bills into a bag? That was me. But there were no alarms, just my own heartbeat thumping in my ears. I knew I was out of time, but I thought maybe one last bluff could buy me a way out. So I made the call. Eli Mercer here. We're opening a Series C, looking for strategic partners. Total lie. We weren't opening anything. We were bleeding to death. But the VCs didn't know that, yet. We staged a virtual pitch. My co-founder Alex did the slides. I did the smile. We wore suits. We showed fake numbers. We dropped names like SoftBank and Goldman and Qatar Ventures. They nodded. They smiled. They had no idea we were days from collapse. Meanwhile, we leaked news of a $100 million investment deal to the press. It worked. The withdrawals slowed. Twitter calmed down. Even the trolls disappeared for a minute. And I thought, did I just pull it off? Then came the interview. Big one. Bloomberg. They wanted to highlight my journey. So I put on my best hoodie, sat in front of a bookshelf I didn't read, and spoke like a visionary. We believe in democratizing finance, in removing middlemen, in empowering the little guy. All while my lawyers were DMing me live, do not mention the token. The interview dropped. It went viral. Reddit was on fire. People called me the next Satoshi, the Robin Hood of crypto, even Saint Eli. Saint Eli, can you believe that? But fame is fragile. A week later, The Verge dropped the bomb. Sources: Luma X falsified reserve data. Whistleblowers emerge. They had documents, leaked chats, screenshots, even a voice memo. Me saying, we'll just patch it. They won't know. I still don't know who leaked it. Alex? Our CTO and intern? Does it matter? The house started burning. Our Discord was full of panicked investors. Telegram was chaos. Reddit was calling for my head. So I did what any guilty man does. I ran. I booked a red-eye to Dubai. Burner phone. New SIM. No luggage. At the airport, I watched the news on a terminal screen. Luma X CEO under investigation. Authorities freeze $270 million in assets. $270 million. Gone. That's when I got the call. Unknown number, I answered. Eli Mercer? Who's this? You think this ends with money? Click. I landed in Dubai at 3:17 a.m. No luggage, no sleep, no idea what the hell to do next. The airport was cold. Not the air, the silence. It was the silence of someone realizing, for the first time, that they are officially alone. I walked past families hugging, kids screaming, businessmen with overpriced watches, and me? I had a backpack and a lie. I got into a cab, told the driver, just drive. He looked confused. I handed him a $100 bill. He nodded. Through the window, the city looked like a science fiction movie. Skyscrapers, neon, waterfalls and shopping malls. It should have felt surreal, but all I could think was, who sold me out? Was it Alex? He'd been off lately, asking too many questions, nervous, sweaty, paranoid. Or maybe it was Jamie, our COO. She knew the numbers. She knew we cooked them. Hell, maybe it was everyone. I checked my burner phone. No new messages, no news. Then, a ping, private message, unknown sender. They know you're here. Don't go back to the hotel. They're watching. My hands went cold. I didn't ask who. I didn't ask why. I just obeyed. I had a crypto wallet, one I hadn't touched in months, buried under layers of VPNs and fake logins. I moved everything into Monero, untraceable. Then I bought a fake passport, $40,000, Bitcoin only. His name was Zaid. Slick suit, no smile. "You'll be Liam Carter now, born in Perth, no priors, no ties." I asked, "Is it that easy? Just disappear?" He laughed. "Disappearing is easy. Staying gone, that's the hard part." That night I sat alone in a cheap apartment on the edge of town. No Wi-Fi, no TV, no noise, just me and the echo of everything I had destroyed. I thought about my mom. She still thought I was building something revolutionary, something that mattered. I thought about Jamie. She once told me, "One day your lies will outgrow your charm." God. She was right. Then, another message. Same sender. "Tomorrow, 11 a.m., Creekside Cafe. 1 seat outside. Don't be late." I didn't reply. I just stared at the screen and whispered to myself, how much deeper can this go? 11 a.m., Creekside Cafe. I sat at the only table outside, just like the message said. Sun blinding, heart racing. And then, he walked up. Black polo, aviators, no introduction. He just sat down and said, "You made a mess, Eli." I didn't ask how he knew my name. He slid a small folder across the table. Inside, photos, bank statements, email threads, all of them. Everything I thought was buried, exposed. "They want you back," he said. "But not as a founder, not as a genius, as a fall guy." I blinked. "You mean they want me to confess?" He smiled. "They want you to play the villain, publicly. You take the heat. We give you a new life, clean, quiet, rich." I laughed. It came out broken, like a cough wrapped in panic. "So I get crucified, and then rewarded?" He shrugged. "Welcome to the real economy." I asked him, "What if I say no?" He leaned in, calm, dead eyes. "Then you disappear for real, and not the good kind." I didn't sleep that night. I watched the ceiling fan spin for hours. Thought about all of it. My fake crypto empire, the interviews, the podcasts, the Forbes cover, the staged protests outside our office, the fake whistleblower we paid to leak what we wanted people to believe. It was all theater. And I was the leading man. Next morning, I walked into the Dubai Financial Center. Clean suit, hair slicked back. I turned myself in. Cameras flashed. Reporters screamed. And me? I smiled. Because I knew something they didn't. I had followed their script, confessed, cried, apologized, took the hit. But behind the scenes, I'd already moved $48 million to cold wallets buried under Shellcore in the Caymans. 2 years later, I live on a boat off the coast of Sicily. New name, new face, new rules. And every night I pour a drink and whisper to the waves, they thought I lost, but I just changed the game. This might be the last time we meet. This story is over. Subscribe to the storyline. Don't get left behind.